Good evening, everyone. Welcome to NTD Tonight. I'm David Zhang. Here is a preview of some of today's top stories. Israel now facing another terrorist group in the Gaza Strip, the Islamic Jihad. Tensions continue to rise with the Hamas in the south. Who steals a Christmas tree? Surveillance footage shows how this real-life Grinch got away with it. A Los Angeles chicken processing business shut down following a labor violation investigation. The facility was found to have employed underage workers. Israel is now contending with another terrorist group in the Gaza Strip, the Islamic Jihad. Tensions continue to escalate in the Middle East as the Israel Defense Forces advance south, battling Hamas terrorists. NTD's Jason Perry has the report and also offers some insights into why some civilians are not evacuating the battle zones.
Israel Defense Forces have completely surrounded the Jabalia camp in the northern Gaza Strip. On Tuesday, the IDF reported raiding a Hamas Internal Security Forces Command and Control Center in Jabalia. IDF troops also located and destroyed rockets found in a garden at a residence in the area. The IDF already has control of the north and has repeatedly asked residents to evacuate to the south. But it may be easier said than done, as Hamas, on the other hand, has told residents to ignore Israel's orders to evacuate their homes. And even more so, in October, mosques in Gaza broadcasted the message, "Hold on to your homes, hold on to your land." Israel's chief of the general staff gave an update.
Those who thought that the IDF would not know how to renew the fighting after the pause were mistaken, and Hamas is already feeling this. Many Hamas operatives, including senior commanders, have been eliminated in recent days.
The IDF is also continuing its operations in southern Gaza. On Tuesday, the IDF reported surrounding Gaza's second largest city, Khan Yunis, in the south. And they are continuing to move inwards, battling terrorists along the way. Israeli forces are not only fighting Hamas there, but also the Islamic Jihad, another terrorist group operating in the Gaza Strip. That group released a video on Tuesday showing terrorists firing machine guns and carrying rocket launchers. Also on Tuesday, residents were seen leaving this area to go further south to Rafah, near the Egyptian border.
Then they brought us to Khan Yunis, where they said it would be safe. And now from Khan Yunis to Rafah, where they said it would be safe. Safety can only be provided by God, and whatever God has willed will happen.
Department of State spokesperson Matthew Miller said this about the IDF's recent operations in the south.
Number one, making clear to Israel that we do not want to see this campaign conducted in the south the way it has been conducted in the north. We are 4 or 5 days into this campaign in the south. It's just started again after the pause. It's too early to make, I think, overall assessments about how it's going. But certainly I know for civilians on the ground, conditions are incredibly difficult.
Miller also said that Israel is not allowing enough humanitarian aid, including fuel, to enter the Gaza Strip. And he added that the U.S. has made this clear to Israel and is engaging with them to address the human suffering. Jason Perry, NTD News.
Now let's take a look at other national headlines. An explosion shook a peaceful neighborhood just miles away from the nation's capital. The suspect, 56-year-old James Yu, reportedly shot a flare gun more than 30 times as police executed a search warrant.
The suspect was inside the residence at the time of the explosion, and he is presumed at this point to be deceased. Human remains have been located at the scene, and the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner will work to positively identify the individual and determine the cause and manner of death.
3 officers suffered minor injuries in the blast, but none required hospitalization. Police say they are not sure what happened inside the home when it exploded. Officers went to the house at around 4:45 p.m. after receiving reports of shots fired. They say they tried to contact Yu over the telephone and through loudspeakers, but Yu did not respond and remained barricaded inside the residence. The explosion then occurred just before 8:30 p.m. The blast shot flames and debris into the air. Neighbors say the explosion could be felt and heard from miles away. The investigation shows Yu had a history of rambling social media posts and frivolous lawsuits. Over in Congress, 3 university presidents are facing scrutiny about campus anti-Semitism in the House hearing today. The leaders of Harvard, MIT, and UPenn were grilled on their response to a surge in anti-Semitism. House Education Committee Chair Virginia Fox accused the administrators of largely standing by and, in her words, allowing horrific rhetoric to fester and grow. Also over in the House, new evidence revealed President Biden's involvement in Hunter Biden's foreign business deals. House Speaker Mike Johnson is accusing the Biden administration of withholding thousands of pages of evidence, adding that a formal floor vote on the inquiry will allow committee to move forward.
We have checks written to Joe Biden that the Oversight Committee has found in the banking records, $40,000 from China, $200,000 from a now bankrupt healthcare company that his brother James Biden apparently swindled. The evidence is so clear you cannot look away.
The White House has repeatedly said that President Biden did nothing wrong and had no knowledge of his son's business dealings. Republicans have signaled that the formal impeachment inquiry against Biden could be launched as soon as this week. President Biden's brother, James Biden, is set to appear before the GOP-led panel on Wednesday. Hunter Biden is scheduled for a closed-door deposition next week. Over in the Supreme Court, justices heard oral arguments today in a case that could both have a large ramification on existing tax law and hamper President Joe Biden from imposing certain types of wealth taxes in the future. The case centers on Charles and Kathleen Moore, who were investors in an India-based company. They were hit with a one-time $15,000 tax bill because of a provision in the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. The Moores argue they shouldn't be taxed because the company's profits were reinvested and they never received any income from it. The justices could limit their decision to just this measure, but any ruling in favor of the Moores could inject uncertainty in the nation's current tax code. A brazen Christmas tree thief was caught on surveillance footage in a California parking lot. He calmly removed the tree from the top of the victim's car, strapped it on his, then drove off. NTD's Jason Blair spoke with the victim, who was shocked when he found out the tree was gone.
A couple parked and went into a jewelry store for about 15 minutes just before 5 p.m. on Friday.
My wife was checking the window to see if our tree, our car was fine, and our tree was gone. And then she said, "Oh, your tree's gone. Our tree's gone." I said, "No, it's not."
It's the couple's first Christmas together, and they had just bought a tree which was strapped on top of their car.
And then when I went to look, my mind went blank. And then, I felt angry and just confused.
Juarez said the jewelry store showed them the surveillance and the police were called. He said the officers unfortunately couldn't do much because the license plates were blurry and the theft was under $950. In California, if stolen items are less than $950, the crime is only considered a misdemeanor.
I know it's a tree, but it's just the principle to me, You just don't go that low.
As grinchy as the incident was, the Juarez family was still able to take a tree home for the holidays. The parking lot security company gave them some money towards a new one, and the Christmas tree farm helped out as well.
The tree farm gave me a discount when I went back to tell them what happened.
While the incident seems to be an anomaly, Juarez urges families to be cautious.
It's hard times, I guess, but just be careful.
The thief's car is a white Infiniti with paint chips on the rear and the hood. The driver looks to be a white male in his 30s or 40s. If anyone has any tips, please contact the San Mateo Police Department. Jason Blair, NTD News.
A chicken processing facility in Los Angeles is facing severe consequences, being fined millions for significant violations, including the employment of underage workers. NTD's Christina Corona has more on the story.
Exclusive Poultry here in La Puente allegedly hired kids as young as 14 years old to perform tasks such as debone poultry with sharp knives and drive forklifts. Accusations of wage theft were also made against the company. The Labor Department initiated an investigation in August 2022 following a complaint about unpaid wages. During the visit, investigators observed young workers aged 14 to 17 at the poultry processing locations. Workers reportedly evaded questioning and ran away. Court affidavits claim that minors were working 6 days a week without attending school, and some suffered job-related injuries. According to the Labor Department, as part of the consent decree, Exclusive Poultry has agreed to a payment exceeding $3.8 million, covering back wages, damages, and $200,000 in civil penalties related to the hiring of underage workers. Jessica Luman, the administrator of the Labor Department's Wage and Hour Division, said in a statement, the Exclusive Poultry and its owner, Tony Brand, deliberately withheld earned wages from workers, jeopardized the safety of young workers, and took retaliatory actions against employees to conceal their misconduct. The company's attorney, Anthony McLaren, told NBC that his client was unaware of any instances of hiring children. Following the settlement, the company is effectively out of business. The property that once housed Exclusive Poultry is currently listed for sale. We reached out to the company for a statement, but they have yet to comment. Christina Corona, NTD News, La Puente.
We'll take a short break now, everybody, but here's a look at what we have for you when we come back. California, known for its gold, now a lithium white gold mine is creating an opportunity for new riches. University faculty going on strike. They are the latest union to demand higher wages and more benefits. A drug to increase a dog's lifespan? That's what one San Francisco-based company is looking to create. Those stories and more coming up on NTD Tonight. Welcome back to NTD Tonight. I'm your host, David Zhang. The Salton Sea emerges as California's lithium white gold mine. It's now one of the largest lithium brine deposits in the world, paving the way for a tech production boom and economic growth. NTD's Stephanie Sikal reports.
The Salton Sea, a once neglected resort area, is poised to become a crucial source of lithium for California, according to a recent U.S. Department of Energy study. Situated in California's southern desert between Coachella and Imperial Valleys, the Salton Sea contains abundant lithium deposits, referred to as white gold. The amount can produce enough batteries to power 375 million electric vehicles. Researchers from the University of California, Berkeley project a potential lithium production of over 3,400 kilotons in the next 30 years. This could bring significant economic opportunities to a region where 21% of the population lives in poverty, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Experts have known for years about lithium in the area, but this new study represents the first government assessment into the size of lithium reserves in the Salton Sea, underscoring a unique chance to establish a domestic lithium industry. Despite facing environmental challenges such as 25% water loss over the past 25 years and pollution since its formation in 1905, the Salton Sea's lithium potential offers a dual opportunity for economic growth and environmental solutions. Stephanie Sikal, NTD News.
California University faculty are the latest to strike for more pay and benefits. This comes after a series of strikes in Hollywood and the medical industry this year.
California State University faculty are launching a 4-day strike across campuses for better pay and benefits. The strike is being held by the California Faculty Association. The union represents roughly 29,000 professors, librarians, coaches, and other workers. The group is fighting for a 12% salary increase.
Essentially, the general salary increase, which is what we are given to keep up with inflation, was compounded since 2019 has been 7.1%. Where inflation in this area is 22.5%.
And the way the finances are being managed by the system right now in the university, it really feels like a corporation. You know, a lot of the decisions seems to be we could benefit, give salary increases to the top, but when it comes to what the students need or faculty need or other workers in the university, there is not money for them.
They say they also want to see a boost in parental leave from 6 weeks to a full semester. But the university chancellor's office says the pay increase they are seeking is not feasible.
The CSU is committed to fairly compensating our faculty and bargaining in good faith to come to an agreement. We are ready to get back to the bargaining table and handle any discussions and decisions at the table.
CSU has 23 campuses across California and employs more than 53,000 faculty and staff. The strike comes as other California State University workers are also fighting for better pay and bargaining rights.
Anti-aging drugs for dogs are paving the way for extended lifespans in large breed dogs. NTD's Stephanie Sakal reports.
San Francisco-based company Loyal has received conditional approval from the FDA for its drug LOI-001. It aims to extend the lifespans of large and giant breed dogs. The drug, anticipated to be on the market by 2026, pending full FDA approval, addresses the shorter lifespans of larger breeds by reducing the growth, promoting hormone IGF-1. CEO Celine Haliwa emphasized the company's goal of developing drugs to extend dogs' healthy lifespan. The drug, administered every 3 to 6 months by veterinarians, could be available for dogs over 7 years old and weighing over 40 pounds. While conditional approval is a positive step, Loyal says it will conduct further studies with the conditional approval valid for up to 5 years. If successful, LOI-001 could transform the way owners care for their larger dogs, promising an extended and healthier life. Stephanie Sikal, NTD News.
That's all we've got for you tonight. We would like you to join us again on NTD Tonight every weekday at 9 p.m. I'm David Zhang. Have a wonderful evening.